the minute they talk to sales team or person for that show organizer, will tell them what they want to hear. And as an event marketer,
Yeah.
our due diligence to really look at those numbers, is that really going to drive value? I looked at an event in Chicago where they sold me on, I'm going to reach all these people. I went to do a site visit of that event. It was in a hotel lobby, which that's not to say that that's bad, but it was just in a hotel. The booths were right in the lobby, and then they had one room that was where all the presentations happened. For me, seeing that, it was $2,000 visit to go to Chicago for one night to visit versus spending $100,000 on the
Yeah, of
activation.
course. Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a don't get bought into what a show organizer tells you,
Yeah.
to have that conversation, look at the perspectives, and then from there, do the due diligence and see, are my competitors there? If not, is this an opportunity for me to kind of break into that market? As an event person, manager, specialist, coordinator, it's important that we don't get so fixated on just execution and the tasks. We really need to do our due diligence on being focused on what is that event that's going to draw the value, looking at the sponsorship, really have a look at the fine print, and sometimes saying no. I mean, I've gotten so many conversations, and even today I got a ping from a team member that was, "You have to be at this event." It's like, I go, "Okay, but why? Are
Mm.
we? What's the objective? What are we trying to do?" Well, AI. Everyone's focused on AI. It's like I hear you, but I want to make sure that it's the right event before we just jump. Because, and that was the case with the event that I attended in Chicago. I mean, our team said we have to be at this. It's a really good one. It's been vetted by this company. Okay, well, just because a company said that we should be there, we need to do our due diligence then and evaluate. So that's where I would say to those listening, if you have an event that you want to go big on, I would, and you've not been there, first year is just go and attend, evaluate it, see what the competition is doing from speakings, from sessions, from the booth, and then maybe talk about developing a sponsorship for the following year. I mean, that way you're spending a little bit of money to evaluate it versus going all in, and you might be setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah. I mean, I love the idea of feeling your way into events. Like you're saying, even do a site visit, just you, right? That's always a good way if you can. If you can't, and you don't have time to waste. I mean, just feeling your way into something, starting small and building upon it. Because obviously that budgetary spend needs to be watched,
Yep.
from event to event. Years and years ago, we were working with a company that wanted to go to their first trade show, a pretty big brand name at this point, and they were fixated on this trade show, but they had never gone and they wanted to do this real custom big experience and all this stuff. And I just for some reason kept trying to, are you sure? Are you sure? Do you, they wanted to buy the booth, and I said, I'd love to, I'd love to sell you this booth. I still think it's the best bet. I
Yeah.
think you should rent. I think we should go test the show. I think we should do something small, creative, go in there, spot all these things. And they were like, no, 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 no. And they ended up not using us, and it sucked. But I firmly believed it because they didn't have the answers about the show. It was like they just were assuming. And months later, my contact reached out to us and was like, "Hey man, like you were right." And I kind of told him on the phone, I said, "I really didn't want to hear that. Like, I'm not, I don't feel
Right.
good about it." But essentially, the cool part of the story was they ended up, we had, had some conversations, and then it turned into, we think the audience might be here at this small, they end up being these small little niche, different style shows. And we ended up building these really cool, sleek little 10 by 20s, doing some stuff for them. And they crush these shows at a fraction of the cost,
Yeah.
a fraction of the cost.